So,
right.
final population 54%, 45%.
Yep. Almost
Kind of
60-40 there.
to be
Quite a lot.
expected at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
map freeze shows caps on tac on storage and camera running.
that does tend to happen. It's actually not that surprising to see people slowly log out if they're on the losing side. We do see that a lot in every single Smash, so that's not
That
that's
erosion
not too...
of population
Yeah.
is pretty normal.
But
especially
in this
especially
particular
when you're losing
map,
like this, it's
yeah.
very rough.
In this particular match, just because of how badly it was kind of skewed from one side because of the population already, it really hurt the NC in the end. They just could not put out enough fires, and they ended up getting warp gated at the last minute. But some great plays by NC. Either way, we did see some great plays over there at Awful Pit. Getting that back actually allowed them to get a whole 6 territories at one point. They almost got Gurney Dam back, you said. Unfortunate that they couldn't get that one quite in time. The Fort Liberty push, getting that guy off the bus, or that bus out of the bottom, was also a smart play and very, very important. So overall, pretty good plays by both sides, honestly. Even if TR did win in the end, pretty good play. Hello, Eric.
Hi.
When are we getting our FCs? Are they doing a debrief right now, or what?
Brackets have some small meeting.
Okay.
They need to rethink something, and yeah,
I will pull people inside.
Okay.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Is Brakket? Is he in?
User was
there
moved to your channel.
There's Brakket.
So we got our FCs, and OpsHax was air lead. Is that right? Did I read that right?
Assistant, I believe assistant for Brakket.
You want
assistant.
else here, or?
No, just the FCs.
No.
and the assistants as well.
All PLs is going to be
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of people.
voices.
It's okay. It's okay. Have fun, guys.
I miscall them.
Yeah,
also
no worries.
some
User left your channel.
All right. Where is... Okay, well, we'll get to Bracken in a second. Maddox, however... great job, Maddox, for the win there.
Yeah. Actually, I really didn't expect this gonna happen, but yeah.
Yeah. Overall, your team, you know, they had experience, but they really showed it in the end here, because you just saw how quickly they redeployed onto things that they needed to quickly move from base to base, and you really saw it happening quite a lot.
Actually, I really tried to keep their lattice lines, assign the lattice lines, so they're not being QRF everywhere.
Yeah.
But it looks like they just being QRF everywhere except few platoons, so maybe it's my bad.
Well, I don't know. You did keep a lot of pressure overall on the NC side there. They were having a very hard time putting out all those fires that you set. So you did a great job at that. Did you at all feel like you had a huge advantage just because of the air as well? Because we did notice a lot of TR and not nearly enough countering.
Yeah, actually, we did prepare for air much because we didn't have any advantage on the central front as well. So Aiken Southern and Nason's Defiance, Gurney Dam, they're all pretty much favorable for the western side. So we definitely needed, and we desperately needed the air cover. So we started the air cover for Aiken Southern Labs, and then Nason's, and then go to western flank all the way through. And Snipsel led them pretty well.
Yeah, we saw Snipsel on the ground as well sometimes in that Cobalt bus. Now, I do want to talk about Fort Liberty for a second. Were you guys going for that originally, or did you just feel like at a certain point, you want Fort Liberty for the bragging rights, you want to go in there, get the warp gate, or was that the plan from the start? You really wanted to go in for the warp gate, for very aggressive play?
Actually, when Aiken Southern was on our side, then I actually felt I have to go get through the Broken Veil and through the warp gate, but it really didn't work out as much as I had planned because there were a lot of pressure on Chak Tech plant. Actually, they were whoever was on that Chuck Tech plant, but I don't know whoever
They
was
were
there was.
persistent.
Yeah, they were very persistent, and they did a very good job on getting that tech plant. They were like one or two squads harassing each other, but they flipped the point like 5 or 6 minutes, and we had to save them by pop dumping everything, and it was a real pain in the ass.
Now,
Hi.
joining us as well as OpsHacks. So you guys, I feel like we should probably address the elephant in the room real quick. The opener that got flubbed and you had to kind of restart. Brakket, we know you did a little meeting there with everybody. Did you change your strategy going into that second starter, or was that kind of moot and you really wanted to just do it anyway?
So effectively, our starter was to pop dump the 3 most important bases, which would be Ixtab Power, Aiken South, and Hay Skydock. We weren't expecting to cap Hay Skydock. Instead, we were going to try and stall it for as much as possible. And at that time, we would be able to ghost cap the Aiken Bio area. So because of what happened in the opener, we got confused a bit. So with our meeting, I guess I kind of saw where Pop was allocated the most by Maddox. So I reallocated maybe a couple of squads from the southern lanes of Outpost Lambda and SRP to try and help on Aiken South, to at least push that through. But that didn't work out as well. Unfortunately, Maddox out-pop dumped us. And with losing Aiken South, that opened a lot more lanes for them. And also, for the restart, we weren't able to get to Hate Skydock in time before they were able to get to
Yeah, we saw that too.
beta.
Very fast response by TR. And Maddox, was that something that you went for as well? You kind of, because the opener, when it flubbed out, when did you say, we want to go straight to construction site beta as fast as physically possible because we know that they're going to be investing heavily into that B point over there at Hate Skydock, or did you change anything at all?
I definitely did. Yeah, we definitely did. But a lot of people were actually skeptical about it because it was really far away from Eastern Workgate. Actually, it was much faster in route for Western. So we would first plan was we have one platoon sitting on Hate Skydock and would just drop on construction site beta. And when at the first moment we had 40 one platoon versus one platoon, a clusterfuck on Hate Skydock, and Znipsil was on construction site beta. So I thought we failed that. I thought we failed on backcapping, but it actually all the bases weren't flipped, so we had a second chance. So and we managed to cap the point at the second time, and I have to take I have to get credit for Znipsil for that. I have to give credit for Znipsil for that.
Yeah, did a great job with that. We saw it happening. One more thing for Brakket. Middle of the match, we saw the Awful Pit became a big contention point. Did you realize at the time that how important Awful Pit was going to be? Or was that something that you just kind of saw and you said, we need this point as we possibly, as quickly as we can because we have so much territory behind it? Or did you just have them kind of capping behind, and then accidentally Awful Pit lost? What was the game plan going in when it came to Awful Pit?
So I'll be honest, the northernmost side of the map wasn't as important to me. I saw it as a way to, when we contested the tech plant, to try and pull population off of other lanes and force them to pop up the tech plant. I saw that the platoon I had on there, which was Rag of LPS, he was able to perform. He was able to hold off pop dumps. When we were popped up and lost point, we would rotate back to Awful Pit, and then we would just ping pong back and forth between the points we had lost until eventually we did lose Awful Pit, but we continued on pushing, and then we were able to retake Awful Pit and then reconnect it. Yeah.
I was just about to ask about that. Go
yeah,
ahead.
did you have really counter set up for the air? Because we did not see a lot of air presence for NC. Mostly just TR side having a lot of air, and then I don't know how. Did you guys counter it really well, you thought, or did it just kind of spiral out of control because there was no real way to get those lull pods off?
I feel as if it completely spiraled out of control. So basically, our plan for the air, our plan was to have localized air. So in each platoon, there would be about 2 or 3 pilots. There would be 2 or 3 pilots that would, fly over and around the base. I know Znipsel, and I know that he has a lot of presence in the air, but when we were trying to counter that, but unfortunately we weren't able to, and then our pilots got absolutely just grounded by a quarter of the way into the match, not even.
Brakket, I know according to the balance document, you had, I think both teams had 7 assigned pilots. How many pilots actually showed up for you?
I'm not entirely too sure. I left those up to my PLs in order for them to put the pilots into their squads. I didn't really have a, as I would call it on Emerald, a llama waffle.
Okay.
Okay. Anything more you want to
add? Maddox, did you reapproach anything during the break? After the before the restart? Did you?
Actually, yes. I was a little bit worried about the south lane because we weren't gonna put anything to invest on south lane, and we just put everything on Aiken Southern Nations and Gurney Dam and Beta. So I thought we're gonna have a pretty much big hole if Chak Tech Plant and SRP Hydroponics go away. So I saw the first wave, the Outpost Lambda, Hunter's Blind, and SRP Nano Relay. They're pretty much investing many force. I think it's each 2 squads to 1 platoon. So they invested much in that southern lane. So I was a little worried it's going to be spiral out of control when SRP Hydroponics gets flipped out. So what I was revised, actually, we had 3 platoons on Nation's Defiance. We planned 3 platoons on Nation's Defiance, but I just scratched that plan and revised 1 platoon, diverted into Gurney Dam, because Outpost Lambda is just free base, and Hunter's Blind is a free base, but actually, I didn't really try to flip it because they're going to interdict it, because they interdicted first at the time. So it's kind of obvious they're going to be interdicting out Hunter's Blind, and they're going to try to steal it after they take Lambda. So I didn't really touch Hunter's Blind at all, and let them try to take Hunter's Blind, and I take pressure on Gurney Dam, and when they think they had Hunter's Blind, we're going to send 1 platoon to Hunter's Blind pop dump, so going to steal it back from them. That's what I revised the plan at the moment.
Yeah, in that south lane, we definitely noticed that NC took 4 fingers and was running an attack on Southgate checkpoint when things started to spiral out of control in the northern middle.
But actually, yeah, for that part, the VTG did a really good job holding them off, because they had a lot of pressure going out, like 1 or 2 platoons, but they have only 24 people signed up for them, but they have only 24 people to defend their lanes, but they really defended really well, and with some help, they had some help with air control, but they held a lot of NC portions for like an hour, and they pushed back to Beto lane, and which is very impressive. I want to thank them, and I really want to give them credit about it.
Yeah, it does seem like your platoon leaders and squad leaders did a fantastic job overall, because we saw a lot of independent sort of movements happening. It was great.
But the
So-
experienced platoon leaders did a very good job.
Go ahead, Qeeuq.
Yeah,
I'm just counting something. So right now, at the end of the match, we have 12 lanes open, and most of you had 6 or 7. Well, both of you, most. You both probably only had 6 or 7 platoons. How frequently were you diverting people on a squad-to-squad basis? So you would have your platoon, but you would have to you have a fight that you only want to send 12 people to. Basically, a situation like that where you can't just send the whole platoon somewhere. Because with this many lanes and as few platoons as you were operating with,
Yes.
it had to get messy at a certain point.
Yes. So what I did was rely on Snipsil, Fallout, and VTG because they're all experienced and they're all very experienced platoon leaders and they have many experience in service matches, so they can spare. They have power and they have experience, and their people are quite enough to split and make their own squad logistics and squad tactics into that. So I relied on them mostly, and for the new ones like Beanut and less like. For Nox's platoon, which is Nox wasn't there because of his work, but yeah, for 2 platoons who are not experienced, I try to make them not splitting them, just make them move as a whole and hold off to one lane as possible, so they can hold them off as their full force, not being harassed by like 12 to 24 enemy elite forces.
Okay. Well, both sides did a fantastic job. Overall, it was actually a pretty enjoyable match to watch. I hope everybody in the chat enjoyed, and I do want to give out special thanks to Corrals for organizing, Eritz for refereeing that, and all the other PSB staff who helped out, Brakket and Maddox. You guys did a great job at FCing and getting all you guys in line for that, and all the participating outfits and groups that did come out and played with everybody. Everyone did a fantastic job. I know that the numbers were a little skewed, but that's not too big of a deal for most times. This one maybe a little bit more, but it was a very enjoyable match to watch anyway.